Right, hello guys, and welcome to today's video. Now today's video is finally going to be the video that I've been wanting to bring you guys for the longest time, which is my brand new Xbox Elite Series 2 best settings. Okay, these aren't just the settings that I'm using. I believe these are the best settings that you should be taking advantage of. If you have the Xbox Elite Series 2 or Elite Series 1, it will work for both controllers. These are the settings that you need to be using to take full advantage of your Xbox Elite Series controller. And that starts with a preference to a little warning for today. If you guys are viewing this video and hoping for settings for Cold War and you don't have this controller, unfortunately these settings are only for those using the Xbox Elite Series 1 or Xbox Elite Series 2. Now I do have a previous video with settings that will work for Cold War if you don't have this controller, so I will leave a link to that in the description if you guys are looking for that for settings for Black Ops Cold War. But specifically these settings for the Xbox Elite Series 2 and Elite Series 1, as it works for both, are specifically for Cold War and are specifically for this controller. So unless you have this controller, I'd recommend going into one of my previous videos about my Cold War settings. If you guys do have this controller, I highly recommend you continue watching and sticking around to see these brand new settings. I'm telling you right now, this changed my game 110%. Okay, I have a lot better shot in this game. I can't explain it. I just know that I changed my settings one day and it was just unbelievable, and I'm going to showcase that to you guys right now. So let's get into it. Now, one thing I'm going to start by saying as well, I'm not going to go into full detail about everything, like why I chose this and why I chose that, because I have again explained that in previous videos as to why I've chose certain things. But the things that I have changed, I will explain briefly as they are different from my previous video. Again, if you want a full explanation as to why I use, for instance, only one paddle and why I use A to jump as my only paddle, that is in a previous video as well. Again, if you want to go check that out, that will be a link in the description so you guys can go see that and have me further explain why I use these settings. So let's get into it. So again, as you guys have seen or heard, I use one paddle and it is A to jump. That is all I change here. Nothing else changes. All the other buttons are mapped exactly where they need to be, and I have one paddle which is mapped A, which as you can see is the P2 section. Next up, this is the part that is important. Okay, you guys who have the Elite Series 1 or have the Elite Series 2 need to change this right now. Okay, left stick change, well, it's already set to assignment of being primary, so leave that as sensitivity curve smooth. Just keep it on smooth. I can't explain it, but it just feels great. Okay, and it does exactly what it says. It is just smooth. Okay, I don't know how to explain it. All I know is it just made my shot a lot better, a lot more crisp, and I'd say again a lot more smoother, which is kind of, you know, the explanation and what you'd expect to do when it is labeled smooth. The curve adjustment, some people would think you'd need it something like this, you know, to actually have an impact. I actually put it down to the lowest possible option and it still has an impact. It is definitely different from default, and you can test this yourself. Change the sensitivity curve from default to smooth, and smooth, well, from default and, well, in between default and smooth on the lowest option, you will definitely notice a difference. And finally, as I did previously in my old video, calculation is still true diagonals. Again, it is a lot more smoother than using the other ones, which are axis independent and radial. Again, if you don't think true diagonals is perfect for you, I'd go with radial, but definitely do not use axis independent. But true diagonals is what you want to be using, in my opinion. It's the one I've been using ever since I had this controller, and it's just perfect. Same again, right stick, primary assignment, as you guys know, that's already the default if you have this controller. Sensitivity curve, again, smooth. Curve adjustment, again, to the lowest possible option, and again, calculation to true diagonals. Again, as you can see, it is just a smooth rotation. The thumbstick is moving, you know, and on screen you can see, unfortunately I don't have a hand cam to show you guys this, but trust me, this is moving exactly in motion with how I'm moving the controller. It's just a very precise feeling and a very smooth feeling. So yeah, that's what you need. Left stick and right stick. It's absolutely key and important that you do this if you have this controller. Next up, triggers. 01. Again, I explained this in a previous video as to why I did this, but pretty much, simply put, this is just to make your press as quick as possible. As soon as I touch the controller, I've made a full press. That is what 01 does. So all you have to do, it'll be on 100, bring it all the way down and set it to 01, and you will have an automatic press. Basically, as soon as you touch that trigger, that's it, you've pressed the trigger. Next up, vibration. This is a preference thing, but I put mine all the way down. I don't want the controller vibrating in my hand whilst I'm trying to play the game. Pretty simple in my opinion. You don't want the controller rumbling around your hand. There's no way you're going to be able to keep your shot straight, in my opinion. Some people do. I think you're a bit of a madman if you do. Personally, I would not have this on. as I do believe it makes your shot a little bit more wonky. And again, this is personal preference, but I just changed the brightness down. Maybe it saves the controller's battery, I don't know. Maybe less power, more power, I don't know. Bit of a more placebo thing there, but I just changed it all the way down. So yeah, that's the Xbox Elite Series 2 controller. Next up, I'm going to take you straight into Black Ops Cold War. And right now, as you can see, my settings have kind of stayed the same, okay? I'm playing on a 5.5.9 here. Again, this is all personal preference here, okay? This is something that's more tailored to you. You're going to know whether you play 6.6, 7.7, on a 0.9, on a 1, you're going to know if you need to do that. But the one thing you need to change, and this is the thing you absolutely need to change, and you guys are going to find it weird, but this is how you take full advantage of your Elite Series 2 controller or your Elite Series 1 controller. Change the aim response curve type to linear. That's right, linear. You've probably heard everyone say they use standard or they use dynamic. But I'm telling you right now, if you want to take absolute full advantage of this controller, you need to change this to linear, because as you can see, the aim stick maps directly to aim rate. The aim stick curve is the same as the aim rate. This uses and takes advantage of the settings that you have on the Xbox Elite Series 2 controller, and doesn't like mimic it anyway, or doesn't, you know, have an aim rate that's, you know, improves over time. It works exactly how the response curves are set up for your Elite Series 2 controller or your Elite Series 1 controller. That's exactly all you need to change to get these settings to work for you. And now I use Legacy Aim Assist as well. I don't believe that was a setting before when I last showcased that, but currently Legacy Aim Assist is just perfect in my opinion. It's not too much aim assist and it's not too little. It's just the perfect part that you need, and you still get that aim assist rotation and stuff when you're like strafing and stuff, and that's exactly what you need. Whereas standard is just a little bit too strong, you know, it doesn't help when you're trying to move from target to target. The rest of this is kind of the same. Another important thing, making sure that this, you know, this is your left input and right stick input threshold is a low enough range, not to the point where you get stick drift, but to the point where you're still able to use the controller, you know, and be able to move your joysticks at a reasonable rate, as well as being able to like react quick enough. Those are important. And yeah, that's basically also another thing that may affect you. I don't know, I know it affects the rate of like how sensitivities work, but for me, I use the field of view of 100. You guys can change this as well, it's up to you, it's all personal preference, but in my personal opinion, anywhere below 110 is fine. Anywhere above 110 is a little bit iffy, especially if you don't have an Xbox Series X or anything like a high-end console or a high-end PC. I would not recommend setting this above even 100 really. If you're on a PS4, I don't know if you have those settings on it, PS4 now, I do believe you do. But if you do, 100 and below in my opinion. But if you're on a PS5, Xbox One X, Xbox Series X, or even a PC, 100, 110 is about the field of view you want to have. And yeah, I also use ADS of field of view effective, but again, that's all personal preference as well. And yeah, so those are my Xbox Series 2, Series 1, whichever one you have, best settings, okay? These are the settings that you absolutely should be using for your controller, in my opinion. And to accompany that, I do have a gameplay showing off me using these settings when my hand was working, okay? I still haven't actually recorded or made gameplay since obviously my hand injury, but I do have a gameplay from before then, and what you're going to be seeing is a nuke gameplay. Yes, another nuke gameplay, non-reverse boosted, as you guys know, and I can actually put my COD tracker in the link below, or in the comment section, so you guys can see. I don't cheat, I don't reverse boost, I don't do any of this crazy little magic to get these gameplays, you know, and you're going to see in the gameplay, the people I'm facing are quite sweaty, okay? And it is using the KSP, I believe is what it's called, the Burst SMG. I was simply leveling it up, and I couldn't believe it. But these settings absolutely do help, and I hope this gameplay convinces you and showcases to you how good these settings are. So yeah, let's get right into today's gameplay. Hello guys, and welcome back to the gameplay section of today's video, which is a gameplay showcasing me using these settings, and for somehow, some way, getting a nuke with a KSP with, I don't even know what attachments are on this, to be honest. As you could probably guess, you can probably even see, I think I level up in this gameplay. This gun's only like level 19 or something. I am working on this gun currently, leveling it up to try and do a class up with it, because it is a very underrated gun. And again, it's taken me this long to actually start using it and leveling up, because, you know, I was a bit put off of it. You hear the thing of being a burst SMG and you think, their gun's probably terrible. When has a burst SMG ever been good in Call of Duty? But I've been leveling it up, and it's a beast of a weapon, okay? And today's video actually showcases that, but obviously today's video is more about the settings, and you know, that's why I showcased at the start of the settings. As you can see, I don't even know what level that said, but I haven't leveled this gun up a lot at all. This has got the bare minimum attachments. That's why I'm not doing a class up for this either. This is not a best class up for this gun, absolutely not. But yeah, so enjoy this in the background, a 48-3 nuclear gameplay with my brand new Xbox Elite Series 2 and Elite Series 1 controller settings. You can use this if you do have the Elite Series 1, which I do believe is actually very hard to get hold of now. But most of you guys are probably buying the Elite Series 2 anyway, as the Elite Series 2 controller is the brand new controller on the market, and in my opinion, is an incredible controller. And I am not sponsored by Microsoft, before anyone comments in the comment section below saying you're sponsored or something. I am absolutely not sponsored by Microsoft in order to endorse their products. I do just genuinely believe the Elite Series 2 is a fantastic controller. And after I found these settings, I had to share them with you guys, okay? Because one, that does kind of make my previous video a little bit outdated. Again, if you guys are not using the Elite Series 2 or the Elite Series 1 controller, those settings will still work well for you and are perfectly fine. But if you want to take full advantage of your Elite Series 2 or your Elite Series 1, I 110% use the settings that I showcased at the start of today's video. And you guys will hopefully notice the same change that I had, just of how good these settings were. I couldn't believe it when I did it, and I'm gonna be honest, the only reason I did it was because there was a certain player I'm facing, and he actually subscribed to my channel, okay? So he may or may not see this video, so if he does, shout out to you. I believe his name is Mr. Prestige, I believe his gamer tag was, so shout out to you. But basically, I faced him over and over, okay, due to skill-based matchmaking. I matchmake the guy, you know, like 1 in every like 5 games in the morning or something. It was crazy. We'd face each other all the time, and I felt like he was gunning me, okay? Gonna put my hands up here. I felt like he was destroying me. I felt like he was doing better than me. And I was like, okay, I need to improve here. I felt like I needed to improve. Some of you guys will be surprised to hear that. Some of you guys probably think I'm a really good player. And, you know, I still think that myself. I think of myself being a very good player. But even the people you see on YouTube posting gameplays, on Twitch and that, always want to do things to make themselves better players, and there's always room for improvement. I want you guys to know that there's always room for improvement, and that's why I did this. I went into combat training because there's nothing to be ashamed of. If you guys play combat training to try and like make yourself better at the game, there's no shame in that. And that's what I did. I went into combat training and started messing around with my Elite controller ball, and I was like, right, let's just mess around with a few things. Let's just test a few things out, because again, there's nothing wrong with testing things out, and at the end of the day, if it all goes wrong, I could just go back to the settings I previously had and kind of accept where I'm at and maybe go for it another day or try again at some point. But I spent some serious time in combat training messing around with these settings. And then when I found these settings and put them together, I just noticed the change. And I was like, okay, I need to go online with these. I need to make sure that these settings are absolutely work for me. Like, this isn't just a placebo. Like, I'm not just facing combat training bots and, you know, maybe I'm just hitting a few good shots. But ever since I've changed these settings, I have been able to just perform 200% better than what I did previously, and I couldn't believe it. So again, try out my settings if you have the Elite Series 1 controller or the Elite Series 2 controller, and just give it a shot, okay? Because these settings are fantastic in my opinion. I won't be changing these settings. You won't be seeing another Xbox Elite Series 2 best settings video. This is it. This is my final settings for the year, the absolute best settings that you're going to see for Black Ops Cold War, and maybe even Modern Warfare. It may work with Modern Warfare, I don't know. I don't have the game installed anymore, so I'm not going to be able to test that for you guys. But yeah, also I want to quickly discuss a few things as well that have been happening, because again, first of all, this is my first video for like 7 days, and if you guys didn't read my comment in my previous video, I have had a hand injury. Again, I currently haven't been playing the game recently, simply because, again, I have had a hand injury, which has made it impossible to basically hold the controller. Now, I can just about hold the controller, that's why you are seeing today's video, and finally getting around to showcasing the settings that I wanted to showcase to you guys. But yeah, it's been a struggle. Unfortunately, I did cause myself an injury, which may or may not take quite a while to heal, but I do feel like I'll be able to play the game eventually very soon and bring to you guys gameplays, for instance, of League Play. League Play is now currently out, and it's a bit questionable. I will be doing a video review about that, about League Play, and discussing what I think of League Play, but that is currently out, and I'm going to be honest, it is a bit iffy, but I will discuss that in a video coming in the near future, as well as I believe potential leaks have come out. I've only just seen them today as of me recording this video, that there are going to be 4 new guns coming in Season 2, because yes, we are approaching Season 2, which I'm quite glad about, because we do need a bit more content, you know. The new Zombies map came out as well, and obviously I don't really post zombies, but just know I do play zombies myself, but it's not something I really cover, and I don't think you guys are that interested in hearing about zombies. I think you guys are more interested about multiplayer when it comes to like those of you who have subscribed to my channel. And also, I want to say a massive thank you as well before today's video ends, because I know it's been a while since I posted, but also a massive thank you to you guys for, first of all, getting past 500 subscribers, okay? That's a big milestone for the channel. We're already halfway there now, to 1,000 subscribers, and that's just unreal. Okay, you guys have been showing so much support, giving me nice comments, asking questions, you leaving likes on the videos, subscribing, all that good stuff, and I just want to thank you for it, because again, I haven't uploaded for the past 7 days, and I do feel like I'm letting you guys down, not uploading as regularly as I should do. You know, I feel like I should be uploading every 2, 3, every 4 days at the very minimum, and obviously I just haven't been able to do that recently due to certain reasons and certain circumstances in my actual life at the moment. But I want you guys to know that I do absolutely appreciate everything you guys do for the channel, all the support you give me. It is fantastic to see every day. I just wake up and just, you know, read your comments, send some, you know, comments back to you guys, you know, responding to your questions, and feel free, you can ask any question you want in the comments and I will happily respond to them. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe notifications on, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Goodbye!